Hello, welcome to Wide Left Sports. Today I am joined by Billings Royals baseball player Timmy Lien. Timmy, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing really good, really good. So I guess my first question with a lot of the athletes that I have on is what kind of made you fall in love with baseball?
Um, well, I didn't actually remember this, but my dad always told me, well, not always, but my dad started telling me when, like, kind of throughout when I started my recruiting journey, and like I was going through like everything with recruiting, but my dad told me that it was I think my like one of the years in Little League early on, maybe like when I was 9, and he had everyone sit down. I don't remember this all, but everyone sat down on the bleachers and he asked everyone what they wanted to do when they're older. And apparently, I just said baseball, so I didn't remember that. But apparently, I guess like for me, it's always just kind of been there, and like it's weird to think about because I couldn't like name a specific time where I was like, yeah, like I really love baseball. I just like ever since I started playing, I just like there's never a thought of like wanting to do anything else. I don't really know. But
I love that, having that mindset of I want to do this for as long as possible from the
yeah,
get go.
yeah,
That's awesome. So, how cool is it, to get to be a part of a Legion program like with the Billings Royals, and I know you played on the Blue Jays, and then this year you'll be on the Royals. So how cool is it to kind of be a part of that program and get to be a part of Blue Side baseball? How about that?
yeah, for sure. Um, I don't know. It's been interesting to see like the different players that have gone through the program for sure, and like I don't know, just kind of it's just kind of been interesting for me to see like from the very first year that I tried out, like, and I didn't even make it my eighth grade year, but then like up through now, and like just like all the other kids that have gone through the program, and like the connection that like I've been able to build with other players and like the coaches too has been really cool.
That's awesome. So, on this podcast, a lot of times we give a lot of love to Coach Swecker, who is absolutely amazing. But you're
Yeah,
coming off of playing for the two Coach B's, Coach Cal and Coach Eric. How awesome are they to play under?
yeah, for sure. Well, to be completely honest, my like first year it was definitely hard. Like I don't really know how to explain it, but I didn't play great too that year. But it was definitely more of a challenge, and like I don't know, they're definitely like compared to the post four coaches I had, they were a lot more like strict, and like they expected a lot more out of the players for sure. And like it's a lot more up to players to get what they can out of the season, and like kind of having like they don't push you as much, that's for sure. Like they leave it up to you to really try to get it out of the season as much as you can. But then last year playing for him was great because I feel like just like that second year with him, like having a better connection and like kind of understanding that more allowed me to do better too, and like build an even better, like stronger connection with him for sure.
For sure. So you mentioned that, it is quite the jump from the B level to the A level, and then now you're making the jump to the double A level this year. How hard is that as a player to level those expectations you have as a player and also the expectations the coaches have of you as a player?
Yeah. So I feel like one of the biggest things that I've learned over the last couple of years is not trying to look to like other people for help, especially like for me, like I've always struggled. Like I've never been like a super confident or like overly confident kid because I've always been like smaller. So it's just been like natural for me to kind of like doubt myself more and like be less confident, like almost kind of need someone to push me to really like get to where I want to go. Where like these last couple of years, I've really learned that like it's truly just up to me, and like if I put the work in, like no one could stop me, and like I just need to keep my head down, like keep doing my thing, and then just like let it be what it's gonna be. And the coaches that believe in me and see me, like they'll give me the opportunity. And the ones that don't, I just need to keep moving on, keep pushing forward.
For sure, for sure. So this last year was kind of a cool thing with all of Billings is it was the first year of high school ball. And so I know
Yeah.
you played for senior. And so what was that experience like to get to play for senior high, on top of playing for Blue Side, but getting to play for your school?
Yeah. Playing for my school was really cool. I had a great time. I really liked it, especially like being a part of that first year. It was just kind of like, even though like senior didn't have a great year, but like we definitely should have done better than we did. But like just being like knowing that I was a part of that first team, it just like holds a special place in my heart, and it probably always will. And the other cool thing about it was getting to play with some of my friends that like haven't played Legion, but like have played other baseball programs, and then also some of my friends that have played Legion but were like a year above me, and being able to play with them too.
Yeah.
So
No, that's awesome. So then that kind of leads me into another question with that, playing with the guys that are in the Legion program on senior and then playing against some of them at Skyview West and Central. How much closer did that bring you guys, and how much more of a team did it kind of make you guys getting those extra reps early in the season that are game time?
yeah, um, I don't know. I feel like I feel like it was good from the part that like since not all the Legion kids were together right away, like it was kind of fun for me at least, like being able to compete against some of the kids that then in the summer I played with. And I feel like part of
Yeah,
that kind of helped because like everyone wanted to do like their best in high school ball and to carry that into Legion. And so then I don't know, it just created like a more of a competition. And then when we all came together on Legion, like I feel like that competition was still there, but now instead of like competing against each other to like beat each other, we were trying to compete against each other to do better to help the team win.
I love that. I love that. So my next question is about your recruitment. You're going to please say the name of your
Yeah,
community college because I'm really wrong.
Shemeketa Community College.
Shemeketa in
Yeah,
Salem, Oregon. And so where or I guess how did that come about and what made you sign with them that you want to spend your next 2 years there?
yeah. So this is actually kind of crazy story, like how everything happened, but uh, I wasn't, and I guess for me, like this kind of is just one of those things where it's never really too late. Like I've really started to like realize that more. Like it's never too late to like make a decision to do something. But the start of my junior year of high school, like before high school baseball and everything, I honestly had quit the recruiting process. Like I told my parents I didn't want to play anymore. And I just like kind of abandoned the idea of like wanting to play college baseball and was just kind of like, I just want to play for fun and do as good as I can. And then throughout like the high school season, I kind of got that feeling back again where I was like, this, like, and like my dad told me a story about how when I was little, I said all I wanted to do was play baseball. And so I kind of regained that love for baseball. So kind of late, to be honest, like I didn't start reaching out to any colleges until my last summer during my junior year summer. And so I had just been emailing some coaches here and there, but not really gotten any attention from any. And then one of the coaches that helped with senior high baseball and Blue Jays last year, his name's Dan Blanchard. He's friends with one of the pitching coach at Shemeketa, and so he kind of helped me get on the track to there, and like had me reaching out to them. And so I was talking to them, emailing them a little bit, and then I ended up going to one of the Baseball Northwest events, and that was a blast.
Oh,
I
yep.
had so much fun, and they help with Baseball Northwest, so I ended up getting to meet the coaches there, and they were helping with the event that I was at, which was awesome. One of my favorite experiences that I've had with baseball. And so then when they watched me at the event, that kind of all started it. And then right after the event, he sent me an email about he liked what he saw from me and he wanted to get me on the campus. And so, and then after that, we just sent a couple more emails back and forth, and I'd been other emailing some other colleges too, but like they were definitely at the top of my list. Just like meeting him for that first time, like I just felt like I really connected with him, and he wasn't trying to really sell me on anything. He just wanted to get to know me as a player, and like he also gave himself like his best foot forward towards me too, which was really nice. And like he was just straightforward with me and honest with everything. And so it was good. And then when I went back for my second baseball Northwest, like the tournament, he was helping there, and I made the trip down to college for a tour then, and that's where like I like decide. Well, I didn't decide there, but like that was great being able to talk to him. And then a couple months later, and a lot of phone calls too, I ended up being like, yeah, they're definitely the place that I want to go to.
Oh, that's so awesome. So, talk to me about those baseball Northwest events because my brother did a couple like that. He did a couple Under Armour ones down in like Florida. But what were those like for you? And obviously, that helped kind of spearhead, where you're going. So, what was that experience like?
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun, and I feel like the big thing for me was I always like being able to go out and like experience like the competition of like the sport and baseball of like other areas like outside of Montana, and just like not just like trying to beat another person all the time at like baseball, but being able to ask them questions and like be with them while they're like just practicing, and like see how they've been trained, and like almost just observe them, because I feel like everywhere kind of get like kids get taught different everywhere from around the country.
Right.
But and so like that was the most fun. Like it was awesome being able to go and like just meet other kids that like had the same uh like love for the game that I did, and like probably like 80% of the kids there like all were like just so invested in it, and like just like loved the game, and like they were just trying to do their best at every single little thing that we did, and that was just awesome to see. But and I feel like the other thing that was really awesome about Baseball Northwest was how, like for me, the one that I went to, there was maybe 20 to 30 kids there. So, and then there's like four
Oh yeah.
coaches there, and the four coaches all coach. They're all like coaches from like a college nearby, whether it's like, I know sometimes it could be like an NAIA D3, JUCO D2, and like even I think sometimes like the UW coach comes down for an event or something. And so it was really cool being able to just like almost feel like they're coaching you during it. And like it didn't feel like they were just talking to a mass group of kids, because it was like, since there was only four coaches and it was like only 30 kids, it really felt like you could go up and ask them a question whenever you felt like, and like really kind of build a connection with them, which was awesome.
Oh, I love that. So, excuse me, I got a really big frog in my throat right now.
No, you're okay.
Um, you are going the community college route, which I feel like is a route that a lot of kids from Billings go with, whether it be Miles, just a bunch of different schools around the area that have community or that are community colleges. What advantage do you see in going that route and then potentially moving on to a 4 year from there?
Yeah. Um, I feel like my biggest like want from the JUCO level is honestly being able to play right away. And I feel like that's really important to me, because, and I don't like saying this because I don't think it's completely true, but to a point it is like the competition outside Montana is quite a bit higher. And it's like, for
Mm-hmm.
me, a big thing would be like being able to just go out to Oregon and being able to get on that field right away and compete against other college athletes. I feel like would give me a good head start of being able to move on to another 4 year, hopefully a D1 that I'd like to go to, instead of going to like a D2 or D3 or like a small D1, and like having to just kind of work on the process and like just do that stuff, but not being able to play. So like with at the JUCO level, and I have a cousin that went through JUCO route and is now playing at Santa Clara, and he told me the same thing. Like
Oh yeah.
it was his favorite time at JUCO because he didn't just get to work on the process and stuff, but he was also able to go out and play. And like he really like it was his most favorite time because like there wasn't all the hype, so it was just how bad he wanted to get it done. And so he just worked on the process hard, but then he still got to play at the same time.
I love that. So you guys are just starting winter workouts this week actually,
Yeah,
for Legion, and so what are you working on in the off season to prepare yourself for the spring season, which is coming up in a couple of months? I know for high school.
yeah. So I've been working on a lot. First off, I feel like the biggest thing that like gets skipped by a lot of high school players, if you will, at least like what I've seen with like around Billings is being able to just be consistent. And you don't always have to be like I don't know, kind of like this saying like less is more, if in a way. Like you don't need
Yep.
to go out like if you go and hit one time a week, but you hit 500 balls, like you're not going to get as much out of that as if you just go 3 times a week and each time you go hit 100 baseballs instead, and like have a lot more intent behind those 100 baseballs instead of just like swinging until you can't swing anymore. And so like a big thing that I've been working on like this off season is writing down and like routines and like plans and goals, and like then when I like feel like I need to change the routine, like scratching it out and then rewriting a new routine. So I'm trying to be as consistent as I can. And then like along with that, like my mobility isn't like as good as it should be for sure. And like that's a part of the reason like every once in a while I'll get some aggravation in my hips or like my shoulder might get a little sore. So like this fall I've been trying to work on just being consistent of not just stretching and doing my arm workouts when like I'm sore or like something's bothering me, but even doing it when nothing's bothering me so that come season it doesn't bother me at all. And like I feel like this the consistency is the biggest thing, and like trying like consistently working out 5 times a week, consistently stretching every night, along with arm care stuff, and then consistently hitting 3 times a week and fielding 3 times a week, or 2 to 3 times a week is what I've been doing. So I feel like that's the biggest thing for me is I've just been trying to work on like the mental discipline of being consistent at it.
I love that. So for I guess my next question is, what are you most excited about for the upcoming baseball season, whether that be with senior or the Royals?
Yeah. Um I'm definitely most excited like for senior high ball because I guess there's a little bit of an itch, if you will, for me because last year I was pretty frustrated at the end of the year that we didn't do better than we should have. Like, and we were all saying that we could have done better. Blah blah blah. It's mostly excuses, probably, but we honestly could have done better. And for me, it's just kind of an itch to get back out on the field and like try to show them what senior high baseball could have been last year. But and I think it's gonna be hard next year or this year for senior high baseball too, losing Nick Martin, who played for the Royals, and he was a pitcher, and then Ryder Murdoch,
Yep.
who was an outfielder, and they both
Yep.
played at senior, and they were big. Like they Ryder was such a great leader, and then Nick just like every time he stepped up on the when every time he stepped on the mound, you knew he was gonna dominate, and which he did. And so like we're definitely gonna have to
Yep.
fight, and it probably I don't know. It would definitely we have those two missing pieces. We're definitely gonna need to fill in, but I feel like we can definitely show like a better showing of senior high baseball for this upcoming year. And then for Royals, I'd definitely say like in a way, just like I don't know, like last year at state losing and like really sucked at, especially because I hadn't played with the Royals much, and I ended up getting called up to play with them
Right.
at state. And I had a pretty bad error in that last game that we were played in, and I don't know, just like the want and like kind of like that itch again, like want to get back out there and just the improvement part and like show people that like we can improve and like get better and like just like it wasn't just a fluke, I guess. Like I don't know, like come back to consistent, like make Royals like a consistent, like always at that state tournament competing team, and like want to get back out there and do that again.
I love that. I love that. So we're going to kind of end this with just some quick rapid fire questions about your
Okay.
baseball. So, who's your favorite baseball team?
Seattle Mariners.
I knew I liked you. I'm a huge Mariners fan myself.
Yeah.
This year was amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So then, do you have an MLB player that you kind of try to emulate your game after at all?
Yeah, for sure. I really well JP Crawford for sure defensive wise. I mean, like he's not just on Seattle Mariners, but I think whatever year he won that Gold Glove, and I mean, ever since then, I've always thought he's a Gold Glove winner ever since then too. And so I've always tried to like him, definitely like his defense and like how aware he is of like his body, and like you can just tell like athletic plays and double plays and the glove flips he makes is
Yeah.
just like he's so aware of his body on the defensive side. And then I'd say like hitting is kind of hard because like I don't know, I love just watching the MLB hitters, but I'd say for I really like to watch Trey Turner swing because just that smooth
Oh yeah.
like buttery kind of like flowy feeling, like I try to emulate that, and like I really like to like it's just such a efficient like quick swing, and he's like again he's just so consistent every year, like right around the 280 or above mark every single year, and like his ability to like have that bat to ball, but also like when the pitcher misses his spot, be able to take advantage. Like I feel like that really like relates to how I play the game as well, and then also just like his speed. I wish I had his speed too. So
I think everyone in the MLB does too.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. And then my final question is: baseball is a game of superstitions. I mean, they're
Yeah.
all over the place in the game of baseball. And so, do you have any for yourself that you like have to do every game, or else you just feel like it's going to be an off day?
Yeah. I don't know. That's tough because I try not to get too wrapped up on it, but there are definitely some things that I do honestly like unintentionally. But I don't know. I'd say like I feel like I tend to wear well for the longest time I always wore like the same undershirt, and I kind of got away from that. But now I always wear the same uh like socks a lot of the times. Like there's like a rotation of three socks that I probably wear because usually don't have more than 3 games in a row, and so I usually have like a rotation of three socks. It's mainly like clothing stuff for sure, or like I don't know. I wear the same slides to every game, like pre-game. I don't know, just I don't know, like little stuff like that. And at this point, honestly, like unintentional. Like it just ends up, I just end up putting it on because I know it's game day.
I love that. Well, I want to thank you so much, Timmy, for coming on and talking
Yeah,
about
thank you.
your baseball career up till now. And I can't wait to watch you a lot this summer. I'll be in the announcer's booth, so I'll get to watch a lot of you this summer.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on. And yeah, thank you for everything.
Yeah, thank you too. We'll see you later.
See ya.